Spread your fingertips nice and wide. Hands are under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to start by just wagging a little bit from side to side. So just a little bit of fluidity here through the belly, side body, hips, and lower back. That squeaking is not my back, it's the floor. Although my lower back does squeak like that sometimes. Belly drops a little bit. Pull your heart through your arms. Lift your chin. Lift your chest. Cow pose. You can rock from side to side if you'd like, or you can stay right through center if you'd like, and pause. Exhale, tuck your chin, round through your upper back, middle back, low back. Cat pose. So you're rounding like a Halloween cat. You can tuck the chin a little bit more. You can even press the tops of the feet down as you engage the belly in the cat pose. And you can wag here if you'd like, or you can stay still. And then when your body's ready, inhale, belly drops, lift the heart, lift the chin and chest. Let's do that 3 more times. And it can be one breath, one movement, or it can be one breath and you kind of hang here for a moment. And you can breathe in each one of the poses. So keep in mind a lot of your practice is creativity, organic movement. I don't need you to follow all the things that I'm suggesting. What I really want you to bring your awareness to is how does it feel in the body, and if you need to make the adjustment, you make the adjustment, right? That's our responsibility, is to make sure the practice becomes exactly what we'd like. All right, neutral spine. Straighten your right knee. Keep your right toes onto the ground and push through the right heel. Try to straighten that right knee the best you can. So you're going to feel a little bit in the calf, the Achilles tendon, maybe in the foot. If you're feeling like you need more power today in your practice, you have an option of lifting that left knee off the ground. And if you do it, you can do it just a little. It could be like a half inch. Or you can start to draw the thigh towards the belly. You can round a little bit like cat pose. But keep pushing through the right heel even if you do lift the knee off the ground. One more deep full breath wherever you are. If the knee is lifted, very slowly bring it down. And then lift your right foot up off the ground. Now you have some options. You can stay right here, hands under shoulders, right leg is strong, hip bones are square to the floor, belly drawing up and in, and you're pressing the floor away from you. So you have like a flat upper back. If you're needing a little bit more today, you can start to extend your left arm out in front of you. This is a spinal balance, and this kind of wakes up the body here so you can kind of settle in. And if you're needing even more, you can extend your left arm out to the left and the right leg out to the right. This is called goofy airplane. And any asana that has the word goofy in it, I like. Back to center if you're in goofy airplane. Lift a little higher. Keep in mind your left arm does not have to be off the ground. Draw your right knee towards the belly chest, and you can draw that left elbow under if you're extending. And then inhale, extend, lengthen, maybe lift a little bit higher. We're going to do this 2 more times. Exhale, round and squeeze. Maybe the elbow comes a little higher on the thigh. Inhale, extend and lengthen, and let's do it 1 more time. Round and squeeze as it touches. And then inhale, extend, and lengthen. Now bend your right knee so the heel comes towards the hip. If you extend the left arm out in front of you, and if it's available, reach back for foot, ankle, or shin. You may just still have the left hand down, and that's okay. You can just try to get the toes to touch the top of the head. So wherever you are, if you have the foot, you can press the foot into the hand, lift the thigh. You'll feel this extension from the chin, maybe all the way through the torso to that right knee. Exhale, left hand comes down, right knee comes towards the belly chest. Step your right foot between the hands. And then draw that left hip forward and down. So you have a really nice long leg. You may need to adjust so you kind of scoot yourself around. If your left kneecap feels any sensation that's uncomfortable, take a blanket or a pillow and support your left kneecap, because we're dealing with a fairly strong muscle and tendon in the top of the left thigh. We call it the hip flexor. And these areas of the body can get very tight, especially if we're sitting at a desk all day or driving in a car. For a little bit of power, some variation, you can press the top of the left foot down, and the toes are pointed, and you're going to lift the left knee off the ground. This may feel a little weird. I think the normal reaction is to flip the toes under and lift up, but let's keep the toes pointed. One more deep, full breath here. Lower the knee down, hands come up to that right thigh, and lift yourself on up. So there is a tendency for us to get a really big curvature in the back because of this left hip flexor. So tuck your tailbone, so rotate your pelvis forward. That takes a little bit of curvature out of the back. And then draw the ribs and belly in so we engage the belly to support the lower back. Once we get here, you can draw the hips a little bit farther forward. You can even take the hands to the belly and back and see or feel maybe a little bit of that curvature in the back as you try to engage. So I know when I'm doing this, that left hip flexor of mine so tight, I can start to feel the rotation of the pelvis. So it's a little bit of work to kind of engage that. So make sure that you're not worried about going super far, right? Keep in mind, I don't care about range of motion. What matters is, how does it feel for you? All right? So find the spot where that top of the left thigh, you feel something that's manageable, but the sensation may tether you to the moment, meaning that you can't think of anything other than that. You're like, whoa, that's intense, but it's not overwhelming. All right, so once you're there, drop your arms, give your hands a shake, and roll your wrists. Sometimes you get a little fatigued in the wrist, so you can kind of give yourself a massage. And once the wrists feel pretty good, let's just interlace the fingers behind your back and keep the elbows bent to start with. Squeeze your shoulder blades and elbows towards one another. This may be plenty. You can feel it in the fronts of the shoulders and the chest. And if you're needing more, the elbows start to straighten, the knuckles come towards the floor, wrists come together, arms can come off the lower back. Heart is lifting. Once again, try not to dump in the lower back. So tuck the tailbone. Move the head a little bit to relax the neck, relax the jaw. One more deep, full breath. All right, release your hands, give them a little shake. You're going to take your belly, chest to the right thigh. Hands come down to the floor, or if you have blocks, you can utilize the blocks. From here, draw your hips back. Right knee gets a little bit straighter. And then it gets a little bit straighter and a little bit more and a little bit more until you find subtle sensation in the hamstring and the connection to the glute. So I want you to keep that right knee at least a little bit bent until we kind of get settled in. Right hip is drawing back, left hip is drawing forward. So you're squaring the hips towards the front of your mat, so your pelvis is square. Soften the belly towards the thigh. If you have a lot of space, bend the knee more and get that connection. Once you have the connection here, roll onto your right heel and start to flex your right foot until you feel something in the right calf. You can even take your right hand and give yourself a little massage here, back of the knee and the calf, so you kind of feel what's going on. We're going to explore the whole back of the right leg. So you flex the foot, so there's subtle sensation in the calf and back of the knee. You're softening the torso towards the thigh with a little bit of a bent knee to feel a little bit higher up on that glute and hamstring. You're going to start to move your toes a little to the right. So you're going to kind of roll on the heel to the right. You can start to drag that right heel back a little bit to get a little of that sensation on the outside of the right hamstring. Just exploring the body, finding all those nooks and crannies that we don't normally feel. Start to wiggle your toes back to center and then roll the toes out to the left. I want you to bring your awareness to how that sensation moves in that hamstring. And then the question is, what do I need to do? Do I need to go forward? Do I need to soften? This is all about connection with body. Big inhales, slow exhales. And as we were talking about at the beginning of class, is that not only is this practice about physical body, but it's about energetic body, so subtle energy as well. This sensation in the hamstring may be stress, it may be tension, it may be fear, it could be all kinds of things. I'm not really concerned right now of what's going on, but just know it's there. Toes back to center. Maybe start to straighten that knee a little bit more. Kind of bring your awareness how that sensation kind of drifts down the leg. Soften or press the torso a little bit farther forward again. One more deep, full breath. And then slowly start to walk the hands forward as that right foot roots down. Take your right hand inside the right foot. Get that full extension back to that left leg. And then make sure your right ankle is in front of your right knee. You may need to scoot it forward a little bit. Start to draw that right foot out a little bit to the right, and then come onto your heel, move your toes out 45 degrees, and then rest that foot down. Now with a really strong ankle, as it stays in alignment with the knee, you're going to roll onto the outside of your right foot as that right knee drops to the right, so towards the floor. The more space you have between your right heel and your left leg, you'll get more sensation through the right thigh, right IT band, right hip, right groin. So the more space between the legs, the more sensation. Now you have some options. We're going to spend just a few moments here. So you can stay hands underneath shoulders as you support the spine. You can move a little bit from side to side. If you're feeling anything in that right ankle that's uncomfortable, flex your foot more or do less with the knee opening up. If you have a block or bolster, you can lower the elbows down to that. You can lower the elbows down towards the floor. As the torso gets closer to the ground, the more sensation you'll feel. And then you got a few more options. You can take the right hand to the right thigh or behind the back. You can twist and open with that right shoulder as you lift the chin and chest. This can start to get a little bit intense, so make sure this is what you need if you're in it. Last option, left knee bends, right hand reaches back for the foot, ankle, or shin, and then you invite that heel towards the hip until you feel just enough. So keep in mind, this right here for me is right at my edge. This is about as far as I can go, and any farther is just too much for me this morning. So make sure that if you're in a variation of this asana and it ain't working, adjust. All right, if you have that left foot, let it go. Hands come down underneath the shoulders. Draw the hips back and start to slide this right foot back into table. Bring the knees closer towards one another. Point your toes. Draw your hips back towards your heels and then lift yourself on up. This is hero's pose. If your knees are bothering you, if you feel like you can't get down here and be comfortable, you can take anything between the feet and then rest the hips down. This could be a pillow, it could be a block, a bolster, it could be several pillows. From here, lengthen through torso, draw your shoulders up towards your ears, peel them back, down, and forward. Arms reach up, elbows bend, hands and elbows draw back. Lift the heart, lift the chin and chest. Take your right elbow underneath your left elbow, and you can either grab your shoulders as you start to walk the hands back, or you can bring the backs of the hands together. And if you can get the backs of the hands together, and the thumbs are at the face, take the right hand inside the left wrist or palm, and then keep those pinkies moving forward. Elbows are up, shoulders are down. If you do have the hands, they come a little bit away from the face. Breathe a little bit of space between the shoulder blades. Move the head a bit to make sure the neck stays malleable. Twist a little to the right and then a little bit to the left. If you're ambitious, maybe a little bit of a back bend as you lift the arms up. Exhale, release your arms, give them a little shake. Roll the wrist, wiggle the fingers, come into table. Ease yourself into down dog, so roll over your toes. Lift your knees, lift your hips. If this is your first down dog of the day, move a little bit to get a sense of what's going on. Now, I don't need straight knees and I don't need the heels to touch the floor. So I'd rather have a really long spine. So the hands are pushing down and forward and you're having a little rotation of the arms so the creases of the elbows are coming forward. The head dangles between the arms, fairly neutral. You can pedal the feet, knees like you're riding a bicycle just so you can get a sense of the hamstrings, backs of the knees, and calves. You can even flip over one set of your toes and press the top of the foot down and then maybe try the other foot. One more deep full breath. See if you can get a longer spine. If you need to bend the knees, do that. All right, bend your knees a little bit so the shins are parallel to the floor. Lift your chin, look forward, and then just walk your feet to your hands. Separate your feet a little bit wider than your normal stance. Swivel your heels out just a bit. Bring the weight to your heels, so maybe lift your toes and your balls of your feet off the ground. And then soften the feet down, soften the toes down. Tuck your chin. Arms find opposite elbow. And then just sway the hips side to side as you bend right knee, left knee. Sway the torso, tuck the chin, shoulders heavy, head heavy. One more deep full breath. This is an inversion. You're getting some nice fresh blood to the brain. Unwind your arms, hands find mid-thigh, flatten your back, straighten your knees, lift your chin like you're looking for the horizon. And then gently bring yourself all the way on up. Rotate your palms towards the front of your mat. Tadasana or mountain pose. Press right foot, left foot like you're marching a little bit. Sway the hips from side to side. Pulse the hands. Take your right hand to your right hip. Take your left arm up towards the ceiling. Swivel your left palm to the right. Slide that left arm over that left ear as you gaze underneath that left tricep. Press a little bit with that right hand and see if you can get a little bit of space between your left ribs. One deep full breath here. I love side bends. Just so you guys know. Come back to center. Left hand to left hip. Confessions of a yogi. Right arm reaches up. Swivel your right palm to the left. Press into that left hand. Ease into that side bend. You're extending, you're reaching your right hand up to where the wall meets the ceiling, so extension. You're drawing the right shoulder back a little bit as you lift the chin up towards that right shoulder as your gaze is up towards the ceiling. The left hand is pressing on the hip to see if you can get that sensation not only through the ribs, but maybe down through the outside of the right thigh. The weight is in the heels, the toes are soft. Inhale, come back to center. Extend both arms up towards the ceiling. Hands come through heart center, a little bit of a bend in the knees, and engage the belly as you slowly hinge forward. So belly towards thighs. When you get about halfway down, drop your arms down. Tuck the chin like you're giving yourself a double chin. And then inhale, come halfway up, flatten your back, lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale, bend the knees, plant your hands. You can walk all the way back to plank, top of a push-up. Push the floor away from you, push through the heels, and then tuck your tailbone. So take a little bit of the curvature out of your lower back. Lift the chin up a little bit, create a little bit of space between your shoulders and ears so the neck is nice and long. Lower your knees down. Rotate the creases of your elbows forward. You may have to rotate your hands a little. And then lower down halfway so the elbows brush the ribs, and then you're going to stop. Maybe a little shaking, a little bit of power, and then lower all the way down until you're flat. Squeeze your legs together, point your toes, push the tops of your feet down, and then push your hips into the ground. Lift the chin, chest, and hands. Roll your wrists, squeeze your elbows towards the rib cage, draw your shoulders down and away from the ears, and keep the space between the collarbones nice and broad. So the lower back is going to show up here. Hands down, chest, chin, or forehead all the way down. Soften. All right, table pose. Come on up. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, wag your tail. Cat cow, a round or two. Neutral spine, knees come a little closer together. Left knee straightens, left toes stay on the ground. So we're just taking care of the other side. Same options. You can stay right here as you kind of explore the Achilles tendon and calf, back of the knee. You could lift the right knee off the ground an inch or maybe up towards the belly. Maybe you tuck the chin. So you can do as much as you would like here. Keep pushing through the heel. One more deep full breath. If the knee is off the ground, lower it down. Left toes come off the ground. Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes, flex the foot. This may be enough for you here. You can square the hip bones toward the floor. The belly draws up and in. You're pressing the floor away from you and you're lifting the chin up a little. For more, right arm extends out in front of you, spinal balance. So the pinky's down, the thumb's up, like you're going to shake someone's hand. Find that extension. If you need a little bit more, goofy airplane. Arm sweeps out to the right, leg out to the left. This can be quite challenging through the hip and lower back. Nice. Back to center. Inhale, lift a little higher. On the exhalation, the thigh comes towards the belly. If the arm is lifted, the elbow will come under. Inhale, extend, lengthen, lift. 2 more times. Exhale, round and squeeze. No rush here, just keeping the fluidity and strength in the body. Inhale, extend, lengthen. Last time, round and squeeze. Inhale, extend, stay here, left knee bends, heel towards hip, or toes towards the top of the head. Right hand reaches back, foot, ankle, or shin if you can get it. Press, lift the thigh, keep pressing through the left arm. You should be feeling something in that left shoulder. It's working. On the exhalation, the right hand comes down, left knee towards belly, chest, and then softly step that left foot forward. Hands stay down, hips sink forward and down. So get really long right leg, and if you need it again, slide something soft underneath that left kneecap because there is a little pressure there. You're going to press the top of your right foot down, not flipping over your toes, but you're keeping the toes pointed, and you're going to press and lift that right knee a little off the ground. Doesn't have to be high. You're going to feel it in there, right quadricep or right hip flexor. Right knee lowers down, hands come up to the left thigh. So slowly come on up. Once you come on up, bring your awareness to your lower back. So draw that the pelvis forward, ribs and belly in. Once again, you can kind of explore the lower back and belly. If you hold it, you can sink the hips forward and back. So you get a sense of what's going on. You can also take the hand here in this hip flexor and you can feel how tight this area is. You can kind of massage or maybe a little tap as you kind of explore what's going on. So I want you to bring the hips forward until you feel something in that hip flexor, but not to the point where you're gritting your teeth, right? This can get really intense. Once you find that spot, square your hips, adjust your feet so you're stable. Shake your hands out, roll your wrists. Maybe a little massage. Hands, fingers, wrists. Right? We work so hard with the hands, like right, typing and mouse shenanigans. I sound like my dad now. Right, with the mouse thingy. All right, interlace your fingers behind your back. Maybe the opposite thumb comes on top. Start by squeezing shoulder blades and elbows towards one another, and then start to draw your shoulders down and away from the ears. This may be plenty. You don't necessarily need straight elbows, although that's there if you need it. So you can start to slide the hands down. Maybe the wrists come together, squeeze the shoulder blades and triceps together. Maybe the arms drift off the lower back. For more sensation in this right hip flexor, you can always come forward, and if you need less, you can come back. You can press the top of your right foot down for stability and activating the right leg. One more deep, full breath. Keep your neck malleable. Awesome. Let go of your hands. Belly, chest, come to this left thigh. Hands come down, block or floor, right? So if you have some supports, you can use them, although you don't need them. And then you're going to slowly draw the hips back. And I want you to bring your awareness to the sensation in your left hamstring and glute. So, there's never a goal to straighten the left knee, but we can explore that area. But before you do that, square your hip bones towards the front of the mat. What's happening is the left hamstring usually is fairly tight. And as we try to straighten it, it drags the left hip forward. So I'm going to try to draw it back. And that'll get a little bit more sensation. It means I don't have to move as much once I square my hips. So if your belly and chest is off the thigh, bend the knee a little bit, get it onto the thigh. Roll onto your left heel until you feel something in the calf, and once again you can massage the back of the leg. As the toes are flexing, you're just going to roll them a little out to the left. So we have 3 muscles in the hamstring, and we're exploring them all. For a little bit more sensation, start to drag the left heel back. It may slide a little bit. Soften. Once again, the left knee does not have to be straight, and it's only straight if your hamstring is really open. Draw it back to center. Allow those toes to drift a little bit to the right. Ooh, that is a really interesting sensation for me. So we often just kind of focus on that middle part of the muscle. And the thing about our yoga practice, it's not necessarily I'm trying to make my muscles more malleable, although that happens. I want to know why I'm here, right? Is it because I'm overactive, less active? Is it because I'm stressed? Is it because there's an old injury? I just want to know what's going on with my body. All right, bring the toes a little bit back to center. Soften or press belly, chest towards the thigh. Now you can straighten the knee more, you can bend it more, you can kind of find that sensation in the back of the left leg. We're almost there. Awesome. Okay, slowly bring your torso forward, root your left foot down, and scoot your left foot out to the left a little bit. Take the left hand inside the left leg. Get full extension of this back leg. So the right leg gets really long and extended. Now, check out your left knee and ankle. I want to make sure, as you extend and lengthen, that the knee doesn't pass the ankle. That's what it would look like here, right? So this is not... It's really rough on the knee if we do this. So I want to scoot the foot forward, and I can even scoot it out a little bit to the left. If your foot falls off the mat, scoot your body to the right. Roll your toes out 45 degrees and rest the foot down. Roll on the outside of the left foot as you drop that left knee open. This could be a rude awakening for a lot of us. It's like, oh my God, where did that come from? And then there's a little bit of like reacquainting ourselves with the body by movement from side to side. This is for me, it's left hip flexor, left IT band. It's the sensation it's the muscle from the left knee to the hip. And if you ride a bike a lot, or if you're a ice skater, roller blader, or if you're a roller skater, like if you roller skate, this may be quite tight. So you have options. You can lower your elbows down. You can take the left hand to the left thigh with a little twist. And then you have that last option with the left hand behind the back and maybe bending that right knee, reaching back with that left hand and heel towards hip. So a whole lot going on here. Right thigh, right hip flexor, left groin, outside left thigh. Nothing in the ankle. One more deep full breath. If you have the foot, let it go. Both hands come down underneath the shoulders. Hips draw back. Left foot scoots back. Back into table. Knees come a little closer. And this time, we're going to flip over our toes. Draw the hips back towards the heels. And lift the torso on up. If you need to, you can move your pinky toes out from under. This can get quite intense, so if you need to, slide something underneath the ankles. It could be like a rolled up blanket, right? This gives you a little bit of support through the tops of the feet. And then reach your arms up, wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists. Elbows bend, hands and elbows draw back. Lift the heart and lengthen through the torso. Left elbow slides underneath the right elbow. Grab your shoulders, walk the hands back. Elbows come on up. Shoulders are drawn down. For eagle arms, backs of the hands come together. Left hand grabs right wrist. And then you rotate so the thumbs are pointing towards the nose. And then elbows up, shoulders down. Twist a little to the right. Keep the spine long. Elbows are still lifting. Twist to the left. Back to center. Little back bend if you feel like you need it. Elbows are on up. One more deep full breath. Space in the shoulder blades. And then unwind your arms. Shake them on out. Come forward, hands down. Table pose. Lift your feet off the ground. Roll the ankles. Wiggle the toes. That could be quite intense in the toes and the feet as well. Once you're pretty good here, you're just going to roll over the toes, down dog. Invite one heel towards the earth, a moment there, and then the other heel towards the earth. It doesn't have to touch, but you're kind of getting some extension. Try that again. Right heel, then left heel. Shake your head a little bit. Come onto your toes. Bend your knees so the shins are parallel to the floor. Lift the chin, draw the belly up and in, and then walk your feet to your hands. This time, feet a little bit closer, maybe big toes touch if that's available. Inhale, come halfway up, flatten your back, lift chin and chest. Exhale, soften as you fold forward. Hands can dangle, find opposite elbow. They could wrap around the legs, or you could interlace your fingers around the back of your head and squeezing the forearms towards the ears as you tuck your chin. One more deep, full breath. Inhale, flatten the back, hands find mid-thigh, lift chin and chest. Slowly bring yourself all the way up. Rotate your palms towards the front of the room. Shake everything out. You should have a pretty good sense of what's going on with the hips, the groins, the belly. So we did a lot of work with shoulders and hips. Let's move just a little bit here to kind of allow the energy to flow through the body. Hands to heart center, bend and straighten the knees a few times. Inhale, arms reach up. Lift the chin and chest. A little back bend if you feel like you need it. Exhale, hands through heart center, no rush. Release your arms, tuck your chin, and soften. Inhale, come halfway up, flatten and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, plant your hands, right foot steps back. Stay on your right toes. It's a balance pose here. Crescent warrior, so reach your arms up, left knee bends. Straighten the right leg the best you can, push through the right heel, and then tuck the tailbone, draw the belly in. You'll feel it again, right hip flexor. Twist to the left, open up your arms. We're giving ourselves a little bit of a challenge with a balance. Left hand slides behind the back, right arm reaches up and over the right ear. Your gaze is underneath your left shoulder, looking for your right heel. Exhale, take both hands down on the inside of your left foot. Swivel and ground down with your back foot. And then you're just going to crab walk your hands back to that right foot. Roll onto your left heel so your left toes are straight on up. The right heel can be up or down, right? It all depends on what's going on with the legs. Hands are on the floor, right arm inside right leg. Press a little bit with the right elbow on the inside of that right thigh, and then lean towards your left leg. So you're just going to kind of move a little bit forward. All right, we're going to come into pigeon on the left side. So walk your hands forward, surround your left foot with your hands, roll onto your right toes, and then drop your left shin down, and then drop that right knee. So lengthen through torso, so pigeon right side. So alignment-wise, left foot in alignment with right leg. Hip bones of the pelvis square to the floor. As you need more sensation, you'll scoot your left shin forward and then square the hips again. Lower the elbows down, blocks or pillow or floor. A little shift from side to side. If you need more, extend your arms even farther. Soften the heart, chin, chest towards the ground. Not here long, about a breath or two, just to get a sense of a little inventory of the hips. Hands under shoulders, gently lift yourself on up. Roll over your right toes, lift your right knee, step your left foot back into down dog. Pedal feet, pedal knees, wag your tail, shake your head yes and no. Step your right foot between your hands. Stay on your left toes, we're just doing the other side. So crescent warrior, come on up. Shoulders are square, hips are square, you're on your left toes. You're straightening the left knee and your arms are reaching up. You can bend and straighten that right knee to make sure that you're into the crescent warrior pose that works. Soften the shoulders and then twist to your right. Open up your arms. Look for your right thumb. Right hand slides behind the back. It could slide down that left hamstring. Right arm reaches up, maybe over. Gaze once again underneath your right shoulder down towards your left heel. So you have a twist with this nice strong right leg. And on your exhalation, you're going to take both hands down on the inside of your left foot. Right foot. Swivel your back foot, crab walk your hands back. Once again, you're just going to roll onto your right heel so your right toes are straight on up. Both hands are to the floor, left arm inside left leg. Press your left elbow into the left thigh to create the space, and then just lean the torso towards that straight leg. So right groin, right hamstring will show up. Just getting a sense of where you are. A little preparation before we do pigeon on the right side. And then gently walk the hands towards the front of your mat. Surround your right foot with the hands. Come onto your left toes. And then lay your right shin down. I like to start with that right heel somewhere around the left hip bone. From here, you can scoot the shin forward until you feel enough. Square the hips, lengthen through the torso, and lower the elbows down. So I want to make sure that the knees, the ankles, the bones are all supported. We don't necessarily ever need sensation in the joints. You're going to feel it through muscles, connective tissue, probably right glute, right groin, right hamstring, maybe left hip flexor. You got 2 breaths here. Once again, just kind of getting a sense of where we are. Last breath. Hands under shoulders, lift yourself on up. This time, drop to your right hip, sweep this left leg around, and give both legs a little shake and a little tap. And then we're just going to find our way to our back. So bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor as you rest your spine down. Windshield wiper your legs side to side, so knees drop right and left. And then we're going to ease into a very gentle bridge pose. So ankles underneath knees, heels are scooting towards the hips. So if your hands are by your side body, you may be able to feel the heels. Press your feet down, slowly lift the tailbone, the lower back, the mid back. You can lift up as high as you would need. If you lift up all the way, you may have to kind of shimmy yourself onto the tops of the shoulders, and maybe you can interlace the fingers behind the back. If you do this, you can press your triceps into the ground, draw your chin towards your chest, and maybe come onto your toes to get a little bit more space. 2 breaths in your bridge pose. If you're ambitious today, you can lift one leg up towards the ceiling or maybe to the wall in front of you. And if you do lift a leg, give yourself enough time to switch and do the other leg. All right. Find what's working. If either one of the feet are lifted, lower them back down. Release your hands. Slowly lower the hips all the way down. And then soften the spine and lower back by moving the knees right and left again. And then we're going to do a gentle spinal twist. Take both knees towards the belly and then let both knees drop to the left. Arms open up, spinal twist. Gaze is towards that right shoulder. And then the hands and the arms can move in any way, shape, or form that supports the twist, the chest, or the shoulders. Once again, just a breath or two to surrender and soften. We're starting to wind down from practice now. When we get into these more passive asanas, it's a chance to kind of go deeper into those koshas that we were talking about at the beginning. How am I doing emotionally, energetically, spiritually? What can I do to support myself throughout the day? Gently bring the knees back up to center. Draw the thighs towards the belly. A little squeeze, and then knees drop to the right. Arms open up. Keep in mind that our yoga practice does not stop with asana. It does not stop when we get off of our mat. Our yoga practice is constant connection and intimacy with ourselves, making sure that we have the information that can help us manage the day. Our bodies literally change every single breath. Probably not so much that we can feel it, but if you look at a photo of yourself like 3 years ago, you'd be like, what happened? When did this happen? Right? Breath by breath, moment by moment, we change. It's hard to kind of like bring awareness to all the things going on. All right, knees back to center. Squeeze them towards belly, chest, and then slide the arms in between the legs. Grab the bottoms of the feet. Separate the feet as wide as you can, and then draw the ankles over the knees. Happy baby. Knees or thighs draw down towards the floor by the rib cage. You can do right side and left side, and you kind of rock from side to side. You can bend and straighten the knees, get a sense of hamstrings and groins. If you're grabbing the feet, you can give your feet a massage. Oh, those are my toes. Oh, the sides of the feet, and just give yourself a moment here. And when you are ready, Last resting pose, Shavasana, is waiting for you. So heels find the corners of your mat. You got some space between the legs, and externally rotate your thighs so the feet fall open. You can use blankets, pillows, bolsters, blocks, any way, shape, or form that supports the body. Palms can swivel up as you squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Allow the heart to be open. Draw the chin a little bit towards the chest, along through the back of the neck. Close your eyes. Start to drop the gaze inward. And this is where all the significant changes happen. This internal inquiry and gaze. How am I doing? What do I need? Give yourself a nice big inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth. For a few moments here, just rest. Let everything just melt into the floor as you find freedom and liberation within the body and the mind. In this stillness, you are connected to all things, friends, family, loved ones, plants, trees, planet, all the people that challenge you. Within this connection, you are more powerful than you could ever imagine. The power to heal yourself, the power to heal this planet and everyone on it. And rest in this power. If you have the time and the space to stay in Shavasana a little longer, please do that. If your day is waiting for you, very slowly start to deepen the breath. Awaken the body by wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling the wrists and ankles, and gently rocking your head from side to soften the neck. Arms reach up over your head, stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes. Get nice and long. On your exhalation, just relax. A moment to be here now. I will not let this human experience slip through my fingers today. I will be open to all things, even those things that may be a little uncomfortable, because I know deep inside those sensations are my healing, are my growth. They are helping me create wisdom, because we're warriors. Gently draw the knees towards the belly, chest, wrap your arms around your legs, squeeze. Right arm reaches up over your head, gently roll to your right side in a moment here. We are also very lucky to have access to these amazing bodies on this gorgeous day and this beautiful planet. Let's celebrate. Pressing the hands into the floor, gently bring yourself up into a comfortable seat. And with a nice long spine. Tuck the chin. Bring the hands together as a symbol of our connection to all things. Draw the thumbs towards the heart for our unbounding love and compassion. Take a nice big inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. Thank you guys for sharing your practice, your presence, your power, and your support. Have a beautiful day, and namaste. Nice work, yogis. Keep up the good work. You're doing great. You're doing enough. Rest up, check in, slow down. Make sure you take care of yourself. You deserve it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about practice, please let me know. Comment section or direct message me. Enjoy the day. Here in Ann Arbor, it's gorgeous. Try to get outside, create your social distancing, wash your hands, continue to take care of yourself. Nice work, everybody. Love you guys. Peace. See you soon.